will demonstrate the use of high-tech equipment to detect the paranormal. I want everybody to give Ismael Cuellar a round of applause. And Ismael,
thank you very much. Let me introduce myself. Being the director of the Laredo Primary Society, I'm also an amateur astronomer. I've been doing astronomy for a lot of years. It's a hobby, gives you relaxation in your backyard, or you go to the outskirts of the night sky here in Laredo, Texas. And let me tell you something about our night sky. It's one of the most beautiful night skies to view for astronomy. Go out with your family. There's a lot of events happening throughout the year. Like there's a meteor shower coming up this weekend. I think it's tomorrow. I'll get more details on that. But there's a lot of things we can see because we don't have skyscrapers, buildings, mountains, and it's real flat. And later on in the evening, the Laredo Primary Society, we're going to be doing a demonstration with a telescope, a very large telescope, to be the largest telescope of Laredo, Texas, and we're going to be directed into the planet Jupiter and see the moons. AKA the name of the telescope is Hercules. So that's something part of the UFO conference, a bonus feature that we're presenting for today. Well, the Laredo Primary Society. Well, before anything, I wanted to talk to you about a demonstration. I always do this in my demonstrations and presentations, is that are you the type of person that you need to see it to believe it? Raise your hand. I'm also the same thing. Okay? Sometimes when we talk about seeing is believing or having a field experience, it's like watching a football game on TV. Is very different when you see it actually in front of you. And or having some type of experience can tell you from an astronaut. When we went to NASA, and my family and I asked an astronaut, where is the most experience that you learn when you go to space, and the books and the training and everything that you go through. And he says that the launching time, when they launch just those seconds to hit space, that rattles the whole body and the rib cages and everything. And sometimes they have to do what they have to do naturally. But that's the thing, the field experience. Just keep that in mind, field experience. Well, we have a lot of activity in Laredo. Is it extraterrestrial? We don't know. Is this military doing exercises because we have a situation, a border violence, or is this a practice that they do around the areas? It's a possibility. Or is this actual natural phenomenon? When you explore things that aren't explained, you get all these theories. I had a professor, a science professor, came up to me and asked me, a science of what are you doing this paranormal research? Whose science? And I told him, well, it's a theory. We have to put a theory. It's just like everybody else in history. You go back, Isaac Newton, you had Mercer, this astronomer that had a lot of theories. And for the future, it became a fact. Folks, we're the paranormal researchers, the pioneers, learning things that you cannot see, but there's an explanation to it. Maybe our children, the future children, will have more answers, probably get more facts. Theories that start today, hopefully, we have more facts for tomorrow. Well, technology has been advancing tremendously. Not that there's an app in your iPhone, but in your computers, but there's infrared. You got cameras that can capture light that you can't see. And of course, I've had a lot of encounters where people tell me, well, I'm sorry, Mr. Cuellar, but I can see this light right here. It's visible light. But there's energy you can't see. Gamma rays, X-rays. There's also infrared light and ultraviolet light and some other source of energy that you can't see. We're going to give some demonstrations about the type of night vision that we use. And they're real sophisticated night vision, but it's a combination of technologies. The key success of the Laredo Primary Society is that we have folks that come up with a lot of ideas and they combine them together, and we test, and lo and behold, we have been very successful. Well, we're about to show you all the evidence except for the one from West Texas and Marfa, Texas. We captured a UFO there, and we'll do the demonstration, but all the rest we captured here in Laredo, Texas. It's a hot spot in northeast Laredo and also in South Laredo. All right, so we're going to start. We have hand of applause to Mr. Rodriguez, Ricky Rodriguez. We call him Ricky Rod. These are our tests. We're going to do whatever you want, Rick. What do you want to do first? Okay, we're going to do night vision. Night vision is a camera can take 50,000 times light gathering. That means it can see more light than we do 50,000 times. Okay? Look, we have some movie stars there. Hey, thumbs up right there. And this is the reason it's green, and sometimes we use digital night vision, which is more monochrome, black and white. Well, I'm going to show you, before he aims this light camera to me, just hold up to the audience there, Rick. I'm going to show you an illuminator of infrared light. I'm going to hold up here. And right now, I have this light. And I'm beaming this light all in across your faces, and I'm going to melt your eyes, okay? No, I'm just kidding. But this infrared light illuminates light that you can't see. You probably see a little bit of red, amber in it, right? But the camera sees something different that you guys cannot see. Rick, let's do this. See that light? That's light that you can't see. But folks, we always have that mind. You have to see it to believe it. There's actually right now a demonstration that maybe these entities, anomalies, or UFOs, being extraterrestrial or military or natural phenomena, are cloaked with this type of energy. Where's it come from? What are they doing here? All these questions we're gathering, and we gather this information, and we're doing these conferences, and we have you guys participate in these events because we want you guys to see what we do. And also, after the presentation on our table, we can show you what equipment you can buy. You can do this in your backyard. It will benefit us too, because you will have more people doing eyes and ears of the sky. Okay? Light that you can't see is right there, folks. It does exist of many energies, things we do not understand. Also, as a point of reference, we see those ghost TV shows, Taps, and Ghost Adventures, and you think, oh, they have that light. No, they have this light. So they're doing their investigations in complete darkness. So just give you a demonstration of the light. Okay? Continuing, we have another technology. This is a FLIR. This is an infrared thermal camera. It picks up heat and cold signatures. Cold will be blue, red and hot, white, okay? And of course, you'll see the different temperatures in between would be yellow and white. There's a bar on the right side. You said the bottom coldest spot, the point of reference would be 67, the top would be 93. And this is also an instrument that's benefit for us to investigate the night sky, facilities, buildings. And we have picked up anomalies, energies we can't explain. They manifest and move with intelligence. But also we have captured this UFOs that fly. And believe it or not, in the middle of central Laredo, we have to over a football field. And we'll give that demonstration in our presentation. And that shows right there, that's all you guys. Let's take a picture of them, Rick. All right? We'll post that on our Facebook. And let me show you that means you're alive. You're hot, red, and doesn't mean you're hot, that means that you're hot as the temperature. Okay? It's a very good instrument. It can also be used for law enforcement of the military to pick up hit signatures when there's a subject or a fugitive is running away from the law. They hide in the woods. Believe me, with this camera, can hide. They'll pick you up because they can pick up your body. Well, that's something that we also use it for our research. And it's been a phenomenal instrument, a good tool in our toolbox to do these investigations. All right? Another demonstration we're going to talk to you about. We'll connect the laptop and we'll do the laser demonstration. We use lasers, and I have a gentleman here, and Mr. Tony Salinas over here. I have him give a hand of applause, Mr. Tony Salinas. Well, he's a good friend of mine. He used to be with us in our group. And he said the idea. He says, "Are you going to go to Marfa, Texas?" He goes, "Yes, I'm going to Marfa, Texas." And those lines would supposedly, when you get too close to them, would disappear. Okay? So how can we make contact? Well, get a laser and zap them. Oh. They're zapping with a laser. Well, what's out there that we can do that and do some research on it? Well, we had a 1-watt laser. 1-watt laser. It's 360 times hotter than the sun, on the surface of the sun. It's very hot, and I can tell you one thing. It made headlines in Marfa, Texas. It made an impact for us in our research. We've been there. We just came back from Presidio. We did a UFO conference over there, and I got excited. I went to Marfa, Texas. In other words, from Presidio to Marfa, it was 60 miles. We went 4 times and discovered a lot of information to archive and analyze and go back and do more research. These lights, they appear in the mountains. They manifest with this type of energy that they shine. So we got this laser. This laser goes up to 90 miles of distance. These lights are about 20 miles. So we're touching them. Somehow they respond with intelligence. Let me give you a demonstration of this laser, super hot laser. And we're going to pop this balloon over here. Well, we're going to try. If you guys can see the balloon over here on my right side, well, it's my right side, left side. I'm going to start dancing. Right over here. Thank God it popped. If it shouldn't, I'll be sweating here. All right. Well, we're waiting for the PowerPoint to get up in the video, and we're just going to do that right now, and we'll start doing our presentation. You just keep in mind the laser, and the thermal, and the night vision. Okay? Rick, I think we have Houston, we have a problem. Did you press source? Okay, let's try it again. Apologize. Whew. Now we're cooking with Crisco. I'm going to have to take off my jacket, guys, because I smell like carnitas. I'm sorry. All right, put that right there. Our mission statement is to investigate, document all suspected paranormal activity using scientific methodology to determine if the reported activity can be explained both logically and scientifically by eliminating all probable and rational variables. We are a non-profit organization. Our primary focus is to investigate suspected paranormal activity at residences and places of historical region, and also UFOs. We don't charge for our service. I guess our return of investment is the knowledge and the research, and educate the public what we do. If they can practice it and they can give us more ideas and evolve as a society, that is how we get paid back. Of course, we do take donations, and we also work with fundraising, but the Paranormal Research Society has been working hard day in, day out to get all these programs and evidence and studies that we have done of so far 108 cases, which 108 cases, 30 of them, we couldn't give a conclusion. It was unconclusive to be considered to be unexplained, paranormal. We have more cases that have explanations. For example, we went to this house, and I always give this as an example. The lady calls us in the middle of the night and says, I'm going crazy, my roof is falling apart, I hear nothing knocking. So we go investigate, and we find out that the house had a pecan tree right next to the house, and the pecan trees were hitting, rolling, and it was debunked. It was resolved, and we told her this is the reason. She says, oh my God, I thought it was getting crazy. Well, those are the examples how we help people, and sometimes there are explanations of the events, maybe a plumbing problem or wind draft that makes all these noises, and also, maybe there is energy that we cannot understand, or where is it coming from. That's where it gets more interesting, and where we use scientific mythology to explain all these events. This video shows you a person donated his body for the purpose of science. This person died in camera of night vision, infrared, temperature. You can see that the energy of the body, the temperature is deteriorating. And the question is, where does this energy go? Does it stay in the house? Does it evaporate? Does it become an orb, an energy? Where does this energy go? That is a question that we have, and we're always going to be having science always trying to get some of the answers, but it gives you a visual where this camera picks up the energy leaving the body. In some studies, when a person dies, they said about a couple of 8 ounces to almost, in some cases, 16 ounces, almost a pound, a person loses when the person dies. Is that because of too much energy that person we all carry? There's a possibility. But the person, even to the last breath, where does this energy go? The Laredo Paranormal Research Society, we're 21 members in our group, and we started 4 or 5 at the beginning, 18 years ago. Most of the members at the beginning, law enforcement officers. I'm a deputy warden. I work with the Department of Corrections, and I've been doing law enforcement and work with other agencies for many years, and I love to investigate. The group has been expanding from different careers. We have people that have done the medical field, education field, and we have a very, very good communication on how we get our videographer, the person that does our website, our emails. We try our best to communicate, but sometimes our job takes too much of a burden. But when we get together and we do our investigation, we enjoy it each and every time. You have to have a good time. Well, the next picture I'm going to show you is the reason why we're here. 18 years ago, we took a picture of a green anomaly, and it just was unexplained, and that's why we've been doing paranormal research. Well, not that one. I'm sorry. I think that's the wrong Slimer. There you go. That was the green anomaly that we captured in the old Mercy Hospital here in Laredo, Texas, many moons ago. That is in the ER, in the emergency room, and we used to do training for law enforcement, and we took a couple of pictures, and that thing appeared. As a skeptic and a person that loves to investigate, we went back, we checked the camera, we analyzed the camera, maybe it was the camera with the filter or something, and we noticed this energy just popped in our film. and we call it Slimer because it's green. It resembles too much of the green of the first picture, but funny so that we call that as a first itch on the head and say, there's things out there that we cannot explain, but that's the picture that motivated us to do what we do. All right, so we have UFOs. The Red Primary Society has three focus or three possible theories: military, natural phenomena, or we have extraterrestrial. Now, we had approached, a lot of people approached me and asked me, well, aren't there satellites? Okay? And sometimes we hear people, yeah, they can be satellites. Well, let me give you a formula. Okay? There are more than 8,000 artifacts, objects orbiting Earth. More than 2,500 of these are satellites working and dead. In other words, they're space junk. Okay? And they orbit at a distance that you can't see them, and I'll give you a proof. I'll give you some facts. Do we get the other? F7. I apologize. Can everybody see this one on this side? Let me see if I can get it rolling for you guys. Did you press source? Try it again.
Doesn't have it.
All right, so 8,000 artifacts. We have an airplane that flies over 42,000 feet, which is about 10 miles above the sea level. And then you have weather balloons that fly above sea level about 25 miles. And then you have the space shuttle that flies about 57 miles above sea level. And then you have satellites that orbit 132 miles. That's approximately from here to San Antonio. Well, if the space shuttle is larger and it orbits in a safe zone around the Earth, which is 57 miles. Let me show you this right here. The largest satellite that we know is about the size of a bus. Okay? This is the space shuttle. It takes about almost 4 buses and a half of the length of the space shuttle. That shows you more or less how 4 satellites will appear comparing to the space shuttle. There's your satellites. Now the space shuttle versus the satellite. Space shuttle, of course, is an altitude of 300,000 feet, which is 57 miles. And then you have something that is further and smaller, 700,000 feet, which is 132 miles. So you have the space shuttle being larger and closer versus something smaller and further. When have you heard the weatherman says, and tonight you will be able to see a few scattered satellites as well as the space shuttle? Well, you can, but you have to have a very powerful telescope. There are telescopes that have GPS and they can follow satellites. You can view them through there, but through your naked eye, it's very, very difficult. You can't. The space station, there's your space station. There's the telescope that you can follow. And of course, that's the telescope we're going to be viewing Jupiter tonight, aka named Hercules. And there's a picture of the telescope 700 times. So if you see the little speck on the left side, you get my laser right there. That gives you 700 times what a side of a view versus the space shuttle and the space station. So the question, can you actually see satellites with your naked eye? Think again. Now, our first sighting, this is what happened to me. It was September 18, 2008. It was about 9:45 p.m. northeast Laredo, Texas. I'm outside in my farm yard, and my daughter, Andrea, she sees something in the sky. and says, "Dad, you see those two stars in the sky?" So I look up, and I do see two stars. One was slightly bright, and the other was less bright. And they had a little bit of blue, looked like fluorescent. And they were just like stars. I scratched my head and I go, okay, I've never seen these things. Maybe what time it is. So just to be in the fair side, I get myself a star chart or a star map. Now the star map gives you a blueprint of the night sky. Okay? The blueprint of the night sky tells you what the time and day of the year, gives you what is a map of the whole things that you can see where's the Big Dipper, the Small Dipper. And when I noticed checking the map, we noticed that those two stars were supposed to be there. They disappeared. And the way it all disappeared, this is my wife. She came later on, and I'll explain that right now. When they disappeared, I was astonished. My daughter got worried, and she says, "Oh, Dad, were there aliens? Did they hear us and they disappeared?" I'm afraid she was getting very hysterical. I go, no, honey. There were some clouds and they covered them. They're stars. Oh, okay. So she said, all right. She continued playing around with my son. But inside me, subconsciously, I was like, I've never seen anything like that. Stars that disappeared. It was too much a coincidence. Once I said those stars don't supposed to be there, they disappeared. Well, my wife works she's a nurse, a registered nurse. She double shifts a lot. She was super tired. She comes in, and I'm jumping up and down. I'm so excited. And I go, honey, I saw two stars, and they disappeared, and Andrea was the witness, and let me tell you, it was amazing. I have never seen anything like it. And this is what her response. Oh, no. You're not going to do this to me again. I let you do studies of little goblins and entities and ghosts, but now little green man in spaceship, you're not going to do this to me. You're a deputy warden. People are going to talk about you. You're a public service official. Don't start this right now. Please. I don't need this from you. Well, I said, honey, I have to because it's eating me alive, this curiosity. I want to study this, please. And she says, if I see you study this, I'm going to divorce you. I'm going to leave you. It's going to be embarrassing. Don't do it. And I insisted, and this is her face again. I had it with you, and I'm tired. If you do it again, I'm going to go to sleep. I'm super tired. Besides, there's satellites. That's why I started to do the research that actually we can see satellites. Folks, the reason I'm here really on the UFO is because of her. I wanted to prove her wrong. This is what you call not for evidence crisis. Okay, that's the way I felt. I hate this. How can I prove this? Lady that I saw something I couldn't explain. Folks, it's real difficult, and I challenge this to you guys if it happens to you, okay? Let's say that, let's put this in thinking out of the box. Let's say that you're in your backyard and a spaceship flies over your head, has beautiful lights, does a little show for you, and it flies away. You saw it. Would you talk about it? First, you're going to be in shock. Second, you might think, what was I drinking? Or I had scratched my head, or something hit my head. Nah, it was my imagination. Guess what? It happens again. And it happens again, then you go, would you talk about it? Well, that's the thing, guys. It's very difficult. Even with your immediate family members, like my wife, or brother, oh, it's just crazy. It's just something, you're watching too much sci-fi channel. But it hurts. It's not fair. All right? Well, when you document this and you videotape this and you put it in perspective, you put this when you have more eyes and ears, guess what? Your evidence becomes valuable. Well, that's how I felt. Not for evidence crisis, right there. The lemur says, calm down. You have to calm down because I was very upset. Well, I use the lemur, guys, because we have a baseball team here named the Lemurs. I heard a lot of stories about lemurs being a local animal here in Laredo, Texas. But the lemur says, calm down. There was a second sighting. Christmas Day. My father and my mother were eating dinner. It was late at night. And my dad says, oh, okay, we need to go. It's kind of late for your mom, and thanks for the gifts and dinner. So I called the kids. Hey, kids, Grandma and Grandpa are leaving. Let's walk them out. And guess what? When I'm walking them out, there were the 2 stars. But the good thing, my wife was there. So I go, oh, I'm going to do this right. Okay, all right, honey, you're going to stay right, you're going to stand right here. And she goes, now what? And then I get my dad, then I get my wife, my mom, and I told them, you see those 2 stars? And my dad says, what stars? Those 2 stars? Yeah, they're stars. Look at them, because they're going to disappear. How do you know? Within 4 seconds, it disappeared. My dad was like, how did you know? It happened last time, and it happened again. There was exactly those 2 stars, and disappeared. Guess what? Once those 2 stars disappeared, again, went straight to my wife, and I go, ha! I told you. I was like jumping up and down. Now do you believe? Just like our shirts we have. He says, okay, I believe you. But don't talk about it. You promise. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's military. Well, maybe it is, but maybe it's not. How do you know it's military? It has to be military. Just don't talk about it, please. So, didn't talk about it. There's an actual picture of the 2, one brighter than the other one. There's the slightly dim, the left side. But here it comes where we are human, guys. Curiosity. Folks, listen to this. If you're not curious, you're not human. Okay? Curiosity was built up to have that intuition, exploration feeling about discoveries. You wouldn't have man on the moon and microwaves and iPhones and all this good technology we have, medicine breakthroughs. It's because we want to know what we can do. Well, the curiosity, I couldn't sleep. Tossing and turning, couldn't sleep. Thinking. And Einstein says, what are you thinking? How to investigate UFO. How to catch them. I want to catch them now, right now. Well, you can. We use a 3rd generation night vision technology to capture UFOs. Okay? This is a very sophisticated equipment because the military is no law enforcement. But our equipment, we have invested close to $40,000 in our equipment. We do presentations, we show some of our equipment, what we do. And also, there is the key right there, the night vision monocular owl. It's a 3rd generation. And that little thing right there is about a couple of inches thick, and it makes breakthroughs for us, and we'll show some of the videos we've captured with this. Although we have modified some lenses to it, and we have put some cameras behind it to make it work. Also, we use the FLIR, which we did a demonstration of the blue for cold, red for hot. There's a monocular. Now, if you can see, there is our setup right there. There is the recipe of seeing this anomalies defined over the night sky. Here's a 300 millimeter lens. Here's the monocular. The 300 millimeter lens is about, give or take, about $200 to $300. The night vision monocular is $9,500. We'll skip this green part right here, and we get this Sony night shot cameras between $500 to $600. And this is from Home Depot, a relay plastic for the plumbing, $199. Combine all that, you have a good instrument of the sky. Of course, right here you can see we have this eagle eye of the night sky connected to a projector. Just like the audience, if you're here, you can see all the events of the night sky to this projector, and be in the night sky, and you can see anomalies flying, and then you see it in the sky, and it's just like the light I showed you earlier, that you can't see it, same concept. They fly, you can't see it, but only through the projector. It's just amazing, and it gives you a lot of, what are they? Here's an example, here's an example where we have our backyard demonstrations. We have the projector, while the investigators doing this viewing of the night sky, or stargazing. That's me right there. Use some of the events. Also, the Laredo Primary Society built its own equipment such as starlight video cameras, infrared technology, full spectrum cameras, electrical magnetic generators. For more detail on this equipment, please visit after the conference to our table and we can help you out. More information of our equipment. Now, for point of reference, let me show you how the videos look. Just keep it here. Got a problem here. Let's see if I can move this away. I'll go back to that slide. Let me show our videos, and I'll show you what birds look through night vision and planes. Here's some of the videos. All these videos. You can see we have the videos here. There we go. For point of reference, how birds look through night vision or infrared. I want to show you here. The next slide you can hear. You can see there's our ducks. You can see the wings flapping. The same camera that we're going to show you the UFOs is to show you how birds look and how planes look, and also you can hear combustion, propulsion sound. You can see the Federal Aviation lights blinking. Okay. Here's a close-up. You can see the wing of the tail of the plane. And the good, we have a combustion sound. Now, the video you're about to see right now, let me go manually, guys, because PowerPoint is not working with me here. All right. I want to show you this video of a UFO.
See? Mine have power.
We're doing this in the northeast of Laredo, Texas. There's this light. It's not visible to the naked eye, only to night vision. And we're analyzing this UFO. And it was in the horizon, and this is something that we got excited. I called Tower Control, the airport, and I said, I introduced myself as a law enforcement officer. I said, do you have a craft in this area? And the radar of the airport couldn't detect this. So we're seeing this, and we couldn't figure out what it was. As the video goes on, our investigator has binoculars, and he's seeing this, and he says, I can't see anything. He's like, why I can't see anything with my binoculars, but only through the night vision? And let me just do a little fast forward this video, just to show you real quick. That as we do a little zoom there.
Miren, no se ven por aquí. I can't see it with binoculars.
It says in Spanish, I can't see with the binoculars. And
Oh yeah, you got something, because it's dimming and it goes back and forth.
okay,
It's peeping right through the
Yeah.
And folks, one of the things of this investigation, we go over patients, we go every day, day in, day out, on studying this. This is something that we call this a UFO landing, because it goes down the brushes or the woods down, and it disappears.
Yes, about.
Okay? Now, in Marfa, Texas, let me show you this video over here. Okay?
October 23, 2011.
That's the operation site in Marfa, Texas. It's about 7 hours away from Laredo. We went to do numerous investigations there of the Marfa lights, and they're more into on the mountains. There's the Marfa lights on the top that manifest, and we have a laser that they interact with the laser. They disappear and they reappear. We use a blue laser, and that's why we did a demonstration of the balloon that just popped to show you that how strong is the laser. And we have done a numerous of investigations of the Marfa lights. We had a UFO encounter, very similar to the Marfa lights or the UFO that landed, or it looked that it landed in northeast of Laredo. And this is just some of the lights examples that we have captured. Sometimes they divide from one, they become two. The one at the bottom, it's a blinking light, it's a red blinking light. We use that as a point of reference when we are doing these investigations. And we give you some of the demonstration of this lights appearing in Marfa. Well, would you think that we have something similar here in Laredo, Texas? Yes, we do. And I'll use some, we can't unfortunately tell you the actual location because it's private property, but we'll show you some of the examples here in Laredo. We do have this mystery lights also here in Laredo. Here you can see, and then just mention right there, the one on the left is visible to the naked eye, and the one on the right, it's not. There it becomes non-visible, it disappears. You can see those lights appearing in the mountains. And this is in Marfa, Texas. Now your Laredo lights. This is the, during the daylight, okay? Keep the eyes on the plant on the right side. These lights appear in northeast Laredo up in the horizon. They're round, amber lights with no explanation. Here's a picture that we took, and then you see one or two of these lights appear. And then you see a couple more appearing, and then they disappear. This is actually taking pictures here in Laredo. And you see how every picture that we take, we have more lights appearing. We have folks that told us this is a mothership that landed, or this is ghost lights that we have here in Laredo. There was an Indian burial in the northeast of Laredo. Here's an example, one on top, it's flying, of a UFO of that light. We did a frame by frame. Of the mystery lights here in Laredo, Texas. In the bottom you see two of them. And then you'll see more coming up. You can barely see them there in the top. Right here we did a long exposure of these lights. And they have a lot of energy. And we can show you here in these lights that they're more. At the most we've seen is 11. We have had helicopters for an hours that another friend flew over these lights, and there were no visible lights. There's no building, there's no structure, there's no reflection. We have changed. We just see the
Today
location.
is April the 3rd. Time is approximately let's just check out the time.
Nine 25 p.m.
It does give you an example of the mystery lights here in Laredo.
9:20.
Now, another video I'm going to show. This is evidence we captured here this year. I'm going to show you the mystery lights of this year, and I'll go over them over the video.
Mystery light on the horizon.
Okay? Here is about 20 miles north of Laredo. There's a light that appears from nowhere and is about the size of 2 football
Mystery
fields.
light on the horizon.
And you can see this light.
Mystery lights in Laredo, Texas. It's October the 9th. Time is approximately. Here's another light right there. You can see it?
You can see it looks like it was like a fire, but it got bright. It was the size of 2 football fields, and we were able to capture this, and it was amazing because as soon as this light it disappears or it dims out, we had 2 military fighting jets fly over this light, and it made a turnaround a couple of times of this light. And we'll show you right now in the video. There it is where it dims out. You'll probably see a little bit better in this projecting on my left side. And we were filming this. Here's the first jet coming in to the location of the site. And then we have another one. And they made the turnaround a couple of times to see this. I don't know, maybe it's coincidental that this light appeared and disappeared and you had military passing by. No idea. Or maybe this is a military exercise in Northeast Laredo, but there's no building there. Also, this one, I want you guys to see this one. We took this to our meteorologist from Proid News, and I want you guys to see this beam of light. Maybe better if you can see it this way. This monitor over here, guys. This, the bottom dark at the bottom is the horizon, which is land. And on top of the sky, we see this like a beam of light straight. We call this like a halo light. And we're, astonished with this light, and I think you see it better. If we hit it with a laser, it disappears, and then we remove the laser, and you see that this gets a little bit brighter. This is also Laredo. Then we put the laser there. And then we take away the laser, you notice that the light reappears again. And it's shooting straight, just straight up. And it's not from the ground, it's in the sky. I've taken to different experts. They have given their theories, but there's no full explanation what this could be. It could be a natural phenomenon, but again, it's not visible to the naked eye. There's some still pictures of this anomaly flying here in Laredo. Here's the light. And the first time we have seen this, it was, we were there for 30 minutes filming this, and we had a very, very. Now, if you can notice, the pole, we use the pole on the right side as a point of reference. You see the clouds? It's pulsating this light. Okay? And it's energy this cloud has, and it's beaming this light. It's not touching the ground, it's just, and it was a real good finding. I have to give thanks to our investigator, Trini Solis, and he did a good job. He found this evidence. It's an unexplained event, but flying in our sky. Now this one happened, and this is the best. We're still analyzing. We're using an iPhone to record this. And you can see at the end here, you see all the stars here? Right here, there's like electrical lighting, and it was there for at least 45 minutes. No clouds. We were talking right now to one of our colleagues here that with wind and change of electrons and neutrons, you get electrical energy that you can't see, but it manifests, and that shows you that there is another world of night vision that can see things that we can't. And that's also here in Laredo, Texas. And I think I have, 5 minutes? Okay. Let me show you, before I close out, folks, a video of a Predator drone. That's a Predator drone. We have two that fly from Corpus Christi, controlled by Corpus Christi, about 100 and some miles away from Laredo, flying to the border areas of Laredo. But I want you to see this, that it has blinking lights, okay, and combustion and propulsion sound. They are loud. We captured a triangular UFO about a year and a couple of days ago. And that triangular UFO had made headline news, CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, and we have about numerous calls. We put it on YouTube, and 2 days later we had about 14 helicopters here in Laredo, Texas. It was not my fault, okay? But I had a lot of law enforcement friends give me a hard time for that. But, you know, I want to show you this video so you can compare it, because many people says, well, maybe you have a Predator drone was captured. This is a triangular UFO craft, and it was captured October 23rd of last year.
October 23rd, 2011.
There's the anomaly craft, don't forget, folks, that was not seen by the naked eye. They had that infrared technology that I'll just give you an example.
2011, time 10:30 p.m. A triangular flying object was recorded with a third generation night vision monocular camera. You can clearly see that this object is triangular shaped, and it has circular spheres at the end of each corner.
And we had different filters analyzed by a friend of mine who worked for the Homeland Security, Department of Homeland Security, it's a videographer, and he did numerous of tests of this video to check the integrity of this video.
With infrared light that cannot be seen only through night vision cameras.
There's another filter, and when you put it in slow motion, you can see the structure of it, that is triangular.
Unexplained.
When you compare this to a commercial airplane, the right side, and of course the triangular UFO, it's totally different. You know, you have wing, aviation lines.
For point of reference, we videotape and record an airplane to compare it to the triangular UFO and put them side by side. You can clearly see the big difference of the triangular UFO, how it looks through night vision, as same as the airplane.
And that's my time, folks. Before I let you guys go for my presentation, thank you so much for coming to our UFO conference, and we'll have more to continue, more stuff and events. Keep in mind, Stanton Books just landed by UFO. We have all those books that are here. Thank God for that. We have his books available, and also we have a raffle for the youngsters, a telescope and a microscope at 4:45 when we take our following break. If you haven't had a raffle ticket, they're for free. They're numbered on the outside in the registration area. Thank you guys. Don't forget, keep on looking up in the sky. Curiosity is what makes us to explore. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ismael. Thank you for making us proud of the radio. We are going to have a short break. We do have Mr. Noel Torres, who's going to join us once again.